welcome to Just Ecology. So today we're going to look at a species of frog called the Bibron's toadlet, and it's a really amazing species of frog because it can survive in a pretty dry landscape by having a really interesting life cycle that enables it to essentially hibernate during dry times and then come up and breed when we get the right kind of rainfall during the autumn and winter period. So let's take a closer look at this amazing little frog. So that small kind of clicking sound you can hear is the Bibron's toadlet. And they've only just woken up after a very dry summer and autumn. So we've had, just overnight, this small gully in front of us has filled up with water. It was previously completely dry, but we've had about 50 millimetres of rain overnight. And that's brought the Bibron's toadlet up from where it was kind of hibernating beneath the ground down in the cracks. So the way this really amazing frog, its life cycle is to spend the dry times essentially hibernating in leaf litter or beneath the ground in the cracks in the soil. And then when we have the right rainfall, only in the kind of autumn period from around February and March, it'll come up and start breeding. But only for a very short period and only in these very small ephemeral wetlands. So this is a small pond. It's only about 30 centimetres deep. And what they do is they set up, the male frogs set up a little burrow on the edge of these wetlands. And from there they'll be calling quite persistently, waiting for a female to come. And when the female arrives, they will mate and the eggs will be laid. But then another interesting part of this frog, of its life cycle, is that it's actually once the eggs are laid, it's the actual male that will sit on the eggs. And it'll actually sit on the eggs and kind of watch and guard over those eggs until enough rainfall has come for the eggs to hatch and the tadpoles to come into the water. So it's pretty interesting because not many frogs do this, where you get actually, the male frog sitting there on top of the eggs, kind of guarding them. And it's also very interesting because these frogs, they're quite cryptic. They only occur in these small gullies. And they don't move very far. They actually, when you see them, they don't hop like many frogs. They only kind of walk along the ground. And they only have these small colonies where you'll get 5, 10, maybe if you're lucky, 20 to 50 frogs around a small wetland, all calling for a short period. They only call between around March and April, and after that the tadpoles will begin to mature, and the male frogs will stop calling. The tadpoles will then hopefully mature around spring and turn into little frogs, which will then eventually, as it gets dry over summer or into late spring, will go back down the cracks and wait for the following autumn. So one of the reasons I have this quite a cryptic and specialised lifestyle is they're actually avoiding competition with larger frogs. Many of the other frogs in this local area prefer having a larger body of water, and there's more competition in that water with these other frog species. So what the Bibron's toadlet's doing, it's being able to use these very small bodies of water that only fill up for a few months of the year by really coming as soon as the rain comes to start breeding and to complete their life cycle in only a matter of months between autumn and spring. And because they can use these very small water bodies that none other frog species are using, they don't have to kind of compete with the other frogs. So they've kind of get to be very specialised in their ecology. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just Ecology. Feel free to share with your friends or subscribe below. Thanks and have a great day.